Okay, you guys, so find the one at the top that says histogram. And I need to remind you how to do this because when's the last time you made a histogram? Well, the good news is it's very easy. At the end of the 2 days, I was like, I need to be away from I just don't want to know. Anyway, okay. A histogram is kind of like a bar graph, but it has ranges of values. So find where it says price intervals. Can you guys tell me the lowest amount of money in this list? What's the smallest? 123. Where is she? 123.25 right there. Okay, so we're going to start this at $123. And this interval is going to go from $123 to $124. So this is going to be the interval 123 to 124. This is going to be the interval 124 to 125. Okay, and then you might be thinking to yourself, oh no, what 124 is in both intervals. I'll explain that in a moment. 125 to 126, 126 to 127, 127 to 128, 128 to 129. Okay, now this is how you write the interval. However, each one of these really only goes from 123 to $123.99. But in stats, we write it 124. So what I'm saying is if the number falls directly on the boundary, it goes in the higher one. So we write it like this, but we say to ourselves 123 to 123.99. Okay, so now we're going to count up here. How many numbers fall with between 123 and 123.99? 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to list them in here. I don't really want to do that. What we're going to do instead is make a little, you know, you know what this is like, what is it called? Tally marks. And then we're going to say the frequency is 3. So that means 3 numbers were in that range. Okay, now this says 124 to 125, but really it's 124 to 124.99. So an easy way to think of it is how many numbers are in the 124s? 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I agree. Okay, can you guys see what we're doing here? Okay, so how many numbers are in the 125s? 2, 3, 3. Okay, how many numbers are in the 126s? I see 4. Anyone else see 4? Okay, the 127s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the 128s. 1. Just 1? Okay, are there any questions about how I got the values in this table? Okay, now I want you to scroll down to the bottom of the page. And it says create a histogram, include a title and labels for intervals and frequency. So we're going to do that first. The title is Apple. I don't know why that looks so weird. Stock prices. I got that from here, Apple stock prices. I got that from here, Apple stock prices. And then now I need to make the scale. The bottom of the scale is going to be what we had in our table. So this is going to be 123, 124, 125, 126, 7. And then the side is going to be how many occur in each range. So we label it by ones and you label it frequency. Frequency is how many times it happens. So a reminder, this is called a bin, by the way. And this bin is 123 to 123.99. Okay, so how many fell between this range? Look up at your table you made. Great. And how many fell in this range? 4. And then 3. And then 4. It's super easy once you make the table beforehand. And then 5. And then 1. Okay, and that page is done. That's it. We're doing a histogram, a box plot, and a dot plot, but the histogram is completely done. I believe you start these in 5th grade, so it should feel easy, which is a good thing. Okay, now when you're done, flip the page over. What's the next one? Okay, box plot is the hard one. Okay, this is going to take a minute. And to do a box plot properly, we need to put the numbers that we're working with, which is these movie links from least to greatest. So up here in this white space, I suggest that we all start putting the numbers from least to greatest. Bless you. Tell me if you guys see I do something wrong here, because it's easy to do something wrong. Am I doing it? Okay. All right, now let's go down to this table down here. We need to find all five of these things. This is called the 5-number summary. And we start with the two easy ones, the minimum and the maximum. So the minimum is 100, the maximum is 201. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, now how many numbers are there in our list? 20. Okay, so that means that the median is going to be in the middle. So I'm going to count 10 numbers in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the median is going to be right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, does anybody remember what to do when the median falls between two numbers? Yes, both of you are correct. 123 plus 131 divided by 2. 127, I think there's 4 on each side. Okay, so the median is 127, so come down here and put 127. Okay, and then to find the quartiles, what you do is you cover up everything above the median and you find the median of these. So there's 10 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So quartile 1 will be right here. We don't need to do any math there. We can tell what the middle of those is, right? 119.5. Okay, and then you repeat that process above the median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I really didn't need to do the math there either. I could tell the middle of those is 153. How long has it been since you find the quartiles? Years, right? Did you go to Benicia Middle School? No, I have a lot of students tell me they don't remember stuff that we did. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put a title. This is movie lengths. Okay. So this is how you make a box flap. I make, first you have to label this. The minimum is 100. So I'm going to say 100 is here. And the maximum is 200. So I'm assuming these are by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Yeah. Wait. No, hold on. 110, 120. They're missing one. Yes, honey. Mike? Yes. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to come and make vertical lines. Yes. Did I skip one? I know, but the scale has to go evenly. So I'm gonna put the 201 one just a tiny bit above. So I'm gonna do a mark at 100, a mark at 119.5, which I just kind of have to estimate it's gonna be right before the 120. 127, which I'm going to have to estimate is right here. 153, which I'm going to have to estimate is right here. And then 201, I'm going to have to estimate is just a tiny bit past the 200. And then you connect the middle three to make your box. And then you connect the outside ones and make the whiskers. Okay, and it says make 3 observations about the data. The most important thing that you guys know about this is 25%, this is 25%, this is 25%, and this is 25%. Now, since I'm the AP stats teacher, the thing that would be important to me would be what's the usual movie length? And the usual movie length is somewhere between 119.5 and 153 minutes. So this is like a little bit over 2 hours to 2.5 hours. What is the shortest movie time? Mm-hmm. And what's the longest movie time? 3 hours and 20? That's a lot. Lord of the Rings. What was it? Oh, I guessed it. I didn't even look at it. I just literally said Lord of the Rings because I know those are so long. I love them. Don't get me wrong. Okay, we saved the best for last. When you're ready, flip to the back page. Dot plot is my favorite because it requires no thought and I'm lazy. Okay, so what are these numbers? US hockey team ages. And what is the youngest one on the hockey team? 20, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna go 20, 21, 22. I just started labeling at the smallest. Okay, and then all you have to do with a dot plot is put the dot in the right spot. You have to make them evenly spaced. So I like to use this to help me start. So my first number up here is 32. So I'm going to put a dot in the 32 spot. And my next number is 27. So I put a dot in the 27 spot. And my next number is 26. And then 29. Okay, now this is where it gets important. See how there's another one that's 26? Try to make it the same distance so they're evenly spaced because then you can see a height. 27, 23. Now do you see why I love dot plots? They're so easy. I missed something. I did something wrong. There. Okay. So let's see what you remember. Which one of these things is the mode? I know, that's why we're doing it. Remember, mode is the most. 27. And how old is the youngest player? Yep. And the oldest? 32. Okay, now there's one more thing I want to add. What do we call a number that's far away from all the other numbers? Outlier. Now notice in my description, I put might be an outlier. That's because there's an actual procedure that you follow to determine whether a number is an outlier that we don't learn in Math 1, we learn in AP Stat. So you won't probably ever need it, but we're just going to say might be in this class because we're just not sure, but we're saying it just could possibly be. Okay, now can you guys flip to the stamp sheet side for me? I know. Oh, I'm ready. Okay, and what I'd like you to do is flip to the stamp sheet side and find your pink paper. So everybody get their pink papers out. I think they're in the second shelf over there. Okay, so I think I need to stamp everything from, so this, this, this. Okay, and for the rest of the period, you should be working on your note card. I do want to say that the whodunit was Omega in the gym with a venomous bite. Which is just really fun to think about, a venomous bite in the gym. That was supposed to be Omega Gym venomous bite. So I I put the clues, if you want any of them, I put them over on the side over there so you guys can take a look if you want to, but the key was Omega Gym venomous bite. Hold on, I'm not done. Then this is the closure. We have this done in our notebook. We just did this. Review assignment, review notes should be done. We did that together. Team test. If you don't have any of that stuff done, you should work on that first and then start working on your note sheet. Do you want me to put up the test topics on the screen while you guys are working on your note sheet? Okay.